Right now, while I'm recording this video, the US airstrikes increasing in the southern Iran, including my hometown Ahwaz. In the recent hours, if you follow the news about Iran, the US airstrikes became real intense against many towns and cities in the south of Iran. I don't know what's the plan there. Maybe they are preparing for invasion or kind of like cutting, isolating south region from the north to create like a buffer zone to avoid Iranian drones and attack to the Hormuz Strait. But what is important that to know without getting involved in the details, what the strategic it is, if it's failing or not. But the main, the core points like making this regime accountable or confronting this regime, I would say, like clearly planning to topple this regime. It's one of the best things you can do for the peace in the region. There is a no peace in the region and for the world, maybe, because we have witnessed Iranian influence on the Ukrainian war as well, without toppling this regime. Like that's why I think the military action is the only way of getting rid of this regime. Like there was a 25 years of diplomatic like a pressure and trying to solve the issue with Iran with many other tools, but didn't work. So now it's the time to just finish the job and like remove the main reason of the conflict in the region. Anybody follow the news in the region knows very well that Iranian regime is the only power in the region that's supporting instability, militias, terrorism. Even what's happening in Gaza and the region is related directly to Iranian regime. So uh, even if you don't care about suffering of Iranian people, maybe some people only see, okay, the US now is striking Iran, so people will gonna suffer. Yes, so many people gonna suffer, but we have no other tools to get rid of this regime with peaceful way. Like the same things happen for Nazism. Why it's different for the region like Middle East? It's kind of, I feel kind of like a racism in it, because the European continent, like they they deserve to be liberated from the Nazism and dictatorship. So they deserve to like make a war for liberating them. But for the Middle East, no. Even though it's not impossible to ignore the region and just say, okay, this is me, this is my boundaries. But without getting into that details, this war is necessary, not only for the Middle East, but for the world. This regime should be toppled down. There is no way to just stabilize the region and the world with with this regime. So no peace with this regime. I don't believe any peace is possible. So that's the one reason that I support this war. The second reason that why I support the war against the regime, or even the putting troops on the ground, is that there is no such a like a peace at any cost. Like you can't avoid the war at any cost. Like always, if you, it is all in the history. Like if you avoid war at any cost, you're gonna postpone bigger war in the end. So if you want to reduce the suffering of the people, sometimes you have to take the brave decision of confronting dictatorship and criminals that can cause also suffering. but the life is like that, the always is like that. The regime in Iran, you can't deal with them as like a temporary peacemaking deal like Obama did, like making deal with them and then okay, we can maybe change the nature of this regime. I would say they made the deal in 2015. There was a no war with Iran, but there was a multiple wars in the region. There was a war in the Syria, which Iran was the main factor of it. There was a war in civil war in Iraq. There was a civil war in Yemen. There was the supporting militias and terrorists everywhere in the region. That's why, because in 2015, that administration decided to avoid war and make a deal. Some people now supporting even more that deal, but I would say this is the terrible idea. As someone Iranian and now living outside of Iran, I would say this is terrible. You can't make peace with this regime. You need to confront them, and this is the moment. It's coming for Iranian people and for the region. Third and last reason I would support the war against the regime in Iran is non-intervention is not always the best decision. Many in the West think that okay, if we non-intervene in the Middle East conflict, the situation not gonna get worse, but this is not true, and it's like it became like some fact, and you can watch it in any media. They talking about it that okay, if we didn't intervene in Afghanistan or in Iraq or in Libya, the situation getting better. But the fact in the reality say something totally different. For example, compare Iraqi case with Syrian case. Syrian case, we have a Western intervention in Iraq, and we have a non-intervention in Syria. Did the situation in Syria was the situation in Syria better than Iraq? I would say even worse than Iraq. You had the half population of Syrian displaced and internally and not two different countries, and the Syrian conflict also caused regional instability and sectarian wars, and also even caused a kind of political crisis in Europe by rising many different new political parties in Europe who are totally against immigrants. So the immigration crisis caused by Syrian conflict. That's why, because at that time US and European powers decided to not intervene. One of the reasons also because was they didn't intervene to make the deal with Iran, because one of the things that Iran was really involved in was in Syria. So Obama administration wanted to make a deal. That's why they ignored Syria to focus on Iranian deal, and even focus their red line that they made. But the result was catastrophic. But nobody talks about that. It's became like an ideology in the media and the Westerns, I would say academia, that always in any cost you have to avoid wars. But this is not the case in the history. This is the worst things you can do if you are really want peace in the region and anywhere in the world.